poop in the tub. I'm not gonna poop in the tub.
Whether or not the character is fun to play as is more important than whether the character is new or old, or whether the character is recognizable to everyone.
Remember that quote. All Nintendo fanboys are echoing this sentiment. In actuality, it's just another way of Sakurai saying that he's just going to choose characters that he personally wants. Any character that Sakurai has an extreme fondness for, they seem to have a lot in common with one another. Not only does he give an absurd lie for how they were decided upon, but the main factor is that they happen to get so broken or overpowered to the point in which competitive tournaments won't allow anyone to play as these characters. But this goes back to not what exactly makes sense from a business standpoint, but what's quote, fun. Not as in fun in general, but fun to Sakurai. As I said before, fun is completely subjective. What might be fun to him may not be fun to you. That is okay if he's got different tastes than other people, but when it comes to trying to creating content for consumers, he's basically saying it's my way or the highway. If he's going to just choose characters based on how much fun he would have with them, he should know the consequences for such decisions. How many Assassin's Creed fans would spend a ton of money on a new console and a new game for Bila? How many Elder Scrolls or Fallout fans are over the moon about a character like Min Min? Does he really expect to generate new game and systems sales with just me outfits? Why spend money on rights to use these characters if they aren't going to be used in a significant way? Oh, it's okay because it's Nintendo's money, not my money. Then we go over to Samurai Showdown. SNK has been ramping up their fighting game communities as of late. SNK heroines had characters like Thief Arthur and Skullomania. A couple of niche characters from game series you've likely never heard of. The following year, they released Samurai Showdown, and who was their first guest character?
戦う。武器を取れ。その剣で語ってみせよ。おい、放て！
I immediately thought that this was a good idea. A number of fans weren't happy with the character, citing that his moves were boring and that they shouldn't have spent money to the rights of a character that looked like just a generic knight. Maximilian said he looked like a generic Dark Souls knight with default armor. For Honor is not a game with flashy moves or character development of any kind, but that doesn't matter. This character was not created for Maximilian. For Honor is a game that has been played by 15 million people since 2017. For those that are excited for Warden appearing in the game, does it matter about how flashy his moves are? No. It's the character that those people resonate with. What they see is the Warden, and it's clear that this is not a character that is pandering to Samurai Showdown fans. This is the 8th DLC character thus far, so how can you make new sales at this point? By going after more gamers whom otherwise might not have been interested in Samurai Showdown. This is also true for RoboCop. This character was not for Mortal Kombat fans. Maximilian again criticized the character for being too bland. But again, that doesn't matter. Fans of RoboCop see him appear in Mortal Kombat, and they go buy Mortal Kombat. It doesn't really matter if he's fun to play as, according to the person in charge of the game. He's fun to his fans. Seeing him punch and use his weapons the way he does is doing him right. You don't need him to be overpowered and perform circus act moves, as if you're desperately trying to sell this DLC character alone. Sakurai puts together a 38-minute video for $6 DLC. At the same time, NetherRealm puts together a 3-minute video for a $40 expansion. So is it worth it? They don't hype anything. They don't build months of suspense. They're not going build suspense and magically hope that RoboCop fans just happen to watch some stream that involves Mortal Kombat. They're not going to explain who RoboCop is because RoboCop fans already know. And those that aren't interested in RoboCop don't care. And those that want to learn about RoboCop can just use fucking Google. The video just releases, then the news spreads. People hear about it without a Nintendo Direct. People will tell me, well, Warden was hyped up, and yeah, that's true. But his video was around a minute long and was a part of other SNK news that was meant to be announced at E3. E3 was all about making big game announcements that the press can send around the world. If you're still not convinced that guest characters are meant to draw new fans into the product, then just ask yourself. What characters made you want to buy Super Smash Bros?